good, y'all? It's your boy Jay back at it again. Today we got This Is Why Men Are Taking Their Lives on Christmas by Rome Army. Y'all know the deal is. Follow me on both Jays here and Jays there. Get tapped on my socials. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
I'm going to jump right into back what I was talking about earlier about society gaslighting men. They are so good at it. We have done it in so many ways. And the number one way was a couple years ago screaming about toxic masculinity for fucking 10 years. And men just need to open up. They just need to go to therapy. They need to talk about their problems. They need to be more like women. This was the rhetoric, right? So men
with therapy and opening up as a dude is what society expects men to operate does not apply to the same as a woman and vice versa. Because men, especially now, men throughout all of history and even now have expected to be more stoic, more rational, and less, emotional, as you will. So men are expected to be the emotional pillars of stability. And what happens is when a man has an outburst, he loses a lot of... People will lose respect for him, man. If a woman has an outburst, people will lose respect. But it's less, visceral as with a man type shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's the thing. And I feel like that applies to every man, bro. Most dudes will keep shit in forever. They will go through some shit. I've been there myself. I've gone through shit. Certain emotions, certain patterns, and I've just never opened up. No bullshit. I've just kept that shit deep tucked in my shit, figured out a way through my own vices, through my own soul searching and habits and things of that nature. But that's how I'd say most dudes operate.
They started talking about their emotions. They found out that there was a male loneliness epidemic, and this is how women are responding online.
Men suffer in silence. No, you don't. You are yapping about it. So suffer in silence. Shut the fuck up. Ciao.
Yeah, that's a wild clip. I ain't gonna front, bro. Cause imagine you a dude who opens up. You finally tell someone close in your life about how you feel. You see that's some wild shit, bro. This is why I say you can't search for the appeal or the validation of not only anyone in general, but especially from random people on the internet.
Chow! Oh my god, I would love to fucking slap the chow right off her lips. Oh my gosh, I would hit her so hard she'd be throwing up chow, I'll give you that much, but it doesn't end there.
Saying stuff like, oh, men suffer in silence. What the fuck am I always hearing about it then?
I don't know, maybe because men are human beings, we told them to open up, we told them that that's the answer to all their problems, maybe...
To be honest, as a man, I'm not opening up like that, bro. I'm more of if I'm feeling some type of way, I'm in a negative space, let's hit the lab, my nigga. Let's go to the gym, let's go to the studio, go to the YouTube, let's record some videos, get some work in type shit, and then I'll start feeling better about myself. Because as a man, I don't know if this goes for other dudes, but I feel like my therapy and how I get out of ruts is getting shit done. I'll have a period where I'll just need isolation, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll need a period of isolation where I'm by myself. I'm just chilling, watching YouTube videos, chilling, vibing, cooling, de-stressing, laughing, releasing them endorphins. Then I'll just get back in the studio and work, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. That's how I usually get out those periods of my life. Because to me, I only see opening up as a viable source if it's gotten to the point where I can't function. I can't get work done. I can't talk to people. I can't socially interact. It dead ass takes up my whole life at that point. And then it's I'll tell how I feel to someone so I can just get it off my chest, right? Because even if you don't look for advice, just getting off your chest, it feels so good to not have to carry that weight around all day, every single day, wherever you go. But at the same time, it's also I can't just sit and complain. I have to take action. Because if something's bothering me, I'm I bet. Complaining and venting, that's not going to help me past a certain point. It feels good to get shit off your chest, talk your shit. But at the same time, I gotta, get shit done. Like, I gotta put in work. I gotta get to editing. I gotta get to doing schoolwork. If I'm failing school and it's pissing me off, I bet hit the Khan Academy, hit the chemistry math tutor, hit some tutorials. Let's get shit done. Like, that's how I operate as a dude. Because the less problems, like, the more shit gets done, the more accomplished I feel as a man.
Because, I don't know, because they're fucking people, and talking about it means that we are going to see some change. That there's, that I can't explain this to people anymore. Men are human beings, and the fact that I have to sit here and even struggle to articulate that to people who have little peewee brains, who want me to pull out a little draw board with some crayons and spell out to them why we should respect men as people. I mean, just the audacity and the...
Well, that's true, but you also got to consider that some people don't want to change. Some people don't want to respect and treat others with respect and dignity. Like, you could lay out all the reasons why you should respect men and respect women. You should just respect people until they do or say something that proves that they are not worthy of that level of respect. That's how I operate. Right? And that goes for everybody and everything. Right? Treat others how you want to be treated. But you also got to understand that some people, they don't care about that. They don't care about treat others how you want to be treated. They want to project their own insecurities and faults on the whole world without any type of guidance, reasoning, justification, any shit like that would make it actually something of substance.
The fact that I even have to do that is so infuriating. Sometimes I just want to vomit, and I want to project that vomit all over them.
My neck about stiff as shit. Goddamn.
Think this chip is BS? Watch.
That's what happens when I just play COD. Nigga been grinding on Black Ops 3 shit. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm enjoying this long weekend from school.
If men are suffering in silence, why am I always hearing about it? Like,
because niggas is human, bro. Niggas is human. Like, if we can't vent in real life, niggas is gonna vent online on Reddit forums and podcasts and YouTube videos, bro.
Can the suffering in silence guys tell the others so that they'll shut the fuck up sometime?
And the thing with that type of ideology where these dudes open up and they complain and vent, whether it's justified or not, you just tell them to shut the fuck up. I understand that some niggas, sometimes dudes complain so much that you just want to tell them, hey, bro, like, you gotta find a solution, bro. Because I know if my homie was going through some shit, I'm gonna let him vent. Like, I'm gonna let him talk his shit. But if it's every day, all day, and the nigga not doing no type of solutions, eventually I'm gonna tell him, hey, my nigga, you gotta lock in. You gotta do something. You're not just gonna sit around the house eating ice cream, scratching your ass, and living like this and hoping things get better. You have to take action because it's your life, right? And I would expect my friend to tell me the same thing if I was doing that shit for days, weeks, and months on end. But you also got to consider that dudes need to open up and to vent. Having a bunch of shit in your emotional vault, just getting in there, not being opened up whatsoever, it's terrible for you. It releases so much stress and cortisol that you're willing to snap and flash on anyone. Even if they did nothing wrong to you, or if they did do something wrong to you, it's such a low level that it is deserve the reaction that you give it. Right? It's also the fact that, like, dudes for so many years, especially when they're young, are told to be a man. Dudes don't cry. You're not supposed to cry. You need to be strong. Things of that nature. So what happens is that dudes get told that growing up. And so, of course, they're going to be less willing to open up when they get older.
Always these ugly, bitter, lonely, bad haircut, bad face, million filter. I mean, they just always look like that. It's always those kinds of women that are sitting here and trying to convince us to just not care about men. And we need to normalize, I heard this earlier and I'm going to echo it, normalize calling women losers. I think the video is on Emily King's Instagram, her TikTok it's probably everywhere. And it's a black woman and she's sitting there and she's like, I heard this guy say that we need to start calling women losers, normalize it. And I think that he's absolutely correct, right? And I'm going to echo that. We need to start telling women that they're losers. Anybody who sits on the internet all day and just swears they hate men, but it's just this 24/7 echo chamber of men.
Anyone who goes on the internet as a grown-ass adult Especially if you pass the age of 25 and you're talking about gender wars and you're saying all women suck, all men suck. My nigga or my niggers, you are a loser, bro. Like, to hate everyone of the opposite sex is such a wild take, because that's damn near, that's at least like what? Anywhere from 48 to like 52% of the whole population? Like, I genuinely think if you believe in gender wars and shit, you're a fool. I genuinely think you're a fool, my nigga. You need to grow up.
Men that. Oh my God, men are struggling. How can I insert myself and make it all about me? And what's moronic and ironic is that these women are the same ones that will say that, oh, well, men only started talking about their problems in light of women talking about theirs, right? As soon as women started communicating that they were struggling, that's when men were like, oh, but we go through this too. No, when men started...
The problem is people try to compare suffering, and that's not how shit works. People think, move, and have different emotional concepts and makeups, right? Not everybody's the same. Some people can have the same situation happen to both people, and they'll both handle it very differently in both short and long term. So to try to compare sufferings and plight, like, no, my suffering's worse, your suffering doesn't compare to mine, it's stupid, right? And and I feel like that's based on ego and pride. It's like, my ego says I have to constantly be on top, I have to constantly be better in some way, shape, or form, and compare my suffering to yours and vice versa. Like, if someone tells me something they went through, I'm going to listen. I'm not even going to try to give advice unless they ask for it. I'm not, because here's what people need to understand. Sometimes when people tell you a problem, you just need to listen. You don't need to try to give advice. You don't need to try to put yourself in there. You don't need to say, well, I would know. Unless they are explicitly asking for, like, even if like, before they tell you, you can say, like, yo, do you want to just vent or do you want advice? That's what I would say. I would recommend you say that in some way, shape, or form to communicate. Like, look, if you just need a vent, I'm here to listen. I'm here to, just let you talk your shit. And if you need advice, then I'm willing to give you that. But you need to make that, because sometimes people just want to vent. Not everybody wants to vent and then have someone be like, well, actually, you should do, like, no. Sometimes niggas just need to get their shit off, bro. No BS.
Speaking up is when men's rights advocates started popping up on the scene and started being an example and saying it's safe to do so. Because before I was a men's rights advocate on social media, there was no other women advocating for men, and I was seeing all these man-hating videos, and men were just getting fucking choked out in the comments. They were trying to be like, that's not nice, and they'd be like, hashtag you're a pig, hashtag kill all men, hashtag...
Well, I don't listen to people like that. I just don't. I hear hashtag kill all men. Like, I've gotten to the point where if I see that hashtag kill all men on men, I'm just like, type shit. Like, I'm not even gonna get that shit. I'm not even gonna get that shit that much emotional attention, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, cuz.
Like, not all men, but enough men. Hashtag yes, all men. I mean, you guys just every single day wake up and find a new way to degrade men, and you thrive off of it. Speaking of thriving off of pain, men came forward. We realized that there's a male loneliness epidemic. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about what it actually entails. But first, we're going to go through women's opinions, because they're so highly regarded.
My opinion on the male loneliness epidemic, it's not just caused by social media, even though it does contribute to it. The decline of third-party spaces for men and women to interact in the last couple of decades, the lack of sidewalks and overall infrastructure that would allow people to easily commute from one place to another in small communities, the terrible way the government has handled the economy since COVID, making prices and inflation rise damn near double in 5 years. So it's way harder for people to afford to go out, to afford to drink, to afford to just do fun stuff, and to join clubs and communities where you would meet other people. The rise of online dating, which online dating is not that good because it's much more superficial than in-person dating. It's a lot of shit, like the overall lack of trust within society in the last decade. And in low trust societies, it's hard for you to want to talk and communicate with people because you're going to assume the worst. It's a lot of shit. And for a lot of men who are lonely, I can empathize with them. But at the same token, I can also say that some of y'all have to try. Like I say, if you're in your house all day gooning and eating junk food and not exercising, and you're mad because you have no friends or no social circle. I'm sorry to say, even if you've been through some shit, right, and I can understand that you've gone through rejections and other plights, you have to make an effort to meet other people and to improve yourself before you can just give up. That's how I feel, to be honest.
We should be listening to women's feelings first. Yeah, we're going to listen to what women have to say about the male loneliness epidemic. And then I'm going to point out why they're all moronic and stupid. You can now get my Patreon. It's 50% off on every
Type
single
shit, Patreon.
if you want to. And if you're on the top.
I might make a Patreon. Might post videos of me. You know what? Never mind. It's too late for that shit. I was about to say something hell out of pocket, but I'm good.
There's a male loneliness epidemic. You fuckers don't know how to date.
Oh yes, that's why. That's why men are lonely, because men as a collective don't know how to date.
I mean, some niggas don't have any game and have zero attributes, but to say that that's all is wild to me.
It's not like there's different archetypes of men, different personality traits. It's not like there's extroverts and introverts. No, they are just all the same. You've cracked it. This woman has cracked the code.
There's a male loneliness epidemic. Isn't it funny how there isn't a female one, though? Well, yeah, because men suffer in silence. Then why do I keep hearing about it? It's actually a really serious issue. Define what lonely means to men. Well, women don't wanna... I didn't say anything about women. I said define the word lonely. Being single? No. What? That's not what loneliness is. Plenty of people of all genders are single. That doesn't mean they're lonely. Yes, it does. No, it just means you are. So say that. Okay, it's lonely being single. Not for women. What? Do you have any friends? Yes, a few. Do you have any family? Yes, I do. Then how are you lonely? Because no one's having sex with you? Well, yeah. Okay, that's not loneliness.
What you gotta understand is that having a romantic partner is a key part of anybody's life. Like, niggas can have friends and family and still have periods and times in their lives where they feel lonely. Like, that's to say that you can't have any type of loneliness because you have friends and family is wild to me.
That's just you not having sex. That's women's fault. Okay, what are you doing to make women not want to sleep with you? This is dumb. Yes, some people do find accountability to be dumb when they don't want to take it.
Hundreds of thousands of likes on that video, ladies and gentlemen. While our brain cells were rotting away, women were in the comments like, yes, absolutely. I love how she just pulled out the Andrew Wilson card, well, define loneliness. I can't rebuttal your argument, so I'm going to make you define the word, even though...
Well, let's look at that shit up. Like, I ain't got shit else to do but to get in the studio right quick. Boy, I ain't gonna lie, like... Let's look this shit up. Like, shut out lonely, sad because no one has friends or company. You see, it's friends or company. Someone could have friends and still have periods where they feel lonely or where their DMs are dry and they're looking for some type of companionship. And company can be in the form of a romantic relationship. Now, do some people may have to take more gratitude for what they have and actually make steps and efforts to communicate and build relationships? Of course. But to say that you can't feel lonely because you have friends and or family, it feels very disingenuous to the fact that humans need romantic connection.
Most people aren't walking, dictionaries, and they can't just off the top of their head do that. She thinks that this is not a conversation that any fucking man has had. The male loneliness epidemic is not because men don't have women that want to sleep with them. There are men who sleep with plenty of women who are still lonely. But the thing is that women don't want to understand the male loneliness epidemic. They heard that men were going through something and they said to themselves, how can I make this about me? Like this woman.
Can we talk about how the male lonely epidemic is a bunch of single men who can't stand being single? Because the way these men are so pressed about single women being single and enjoying, it's like, bro, mind your lonely male epidemic business and stop worrying about what women are doing. It's like...
The thing is, niggas gonna see videos like these, especially niggas who are lonely, they gonna start hating women, my nigga. And obviously, I don't vouch for you hating women. I think that shit is never beneficial for you in any way, shape, or form as a man. But it's like niggas gonna see this shit and they gonna go on their incel arcs, and we don't need more of them niggas. We don't need more of that shit.
Every other week, it's a new man, like, complaining about something single women are doing. Mind you, we're not bothering them. Let's keep it a buck. Like, most single women, all they care about is vacationing, getting their money up, their skincare routines, brunches, dinner. It just feels like a lot of men hate that, and there's a lot of, like, reverse psychology going on with men where they
No, that's so
fucking video this glitch, nigga. What the fuck? It's an old ass
That's
laptop,
actually-
nigga. This 1940s Pearl Harbor ass laptop, bro.
not what's happening. Men are calling out women who are acting like degenerates, who have OnlyFans and want to be respected. Men are calling out women who go to the gym in nothing but what looks to be a fucking diaper because their BBLs are so bad. And then they want to set up their cameras and they want to turn a space that was originally a safe space for men into something that's not safe because they want attention. The male loneliness epidemic, again, is not because women don't want to date men. You notice how they do this. They gaslight men, they tell men to open up, and then the moment that men actually do open up, they make it all about them. They don't even stop to ask, like, hey, what it's about. What is this about? Because they couldn't be more wrong. No, instead, they just want to walk around and they want to act like assholes.
So apparently the male loneliness epidemic is man-made. Effectively, it's the men's fault that they're lonely. I watched a post about this the other day where this girl was saying men only have themselves to blame for the male epidemic, the loneliness epidemic, because of the whole red pill movement, the whole 80-20 thing, toxic masculinity, all of that is men's own fault that they are lonely.
I love how their source is always like, I heard this woman talking. Yeah, this woman was saying this, and I'm just going to take what she says, right? She doesn't have a dad. She doesn't have any post-secondary education. She doesn't have any real-life experiences with men, just the men that she picks up at clubs, takes home, and chooses to sleep with. That's her experiences with men. I'm going to listen to her, and I'm going to take her word as God and just say that I now understand fundamentally what men are going through. I really just wish these women would just shut the F up sometimes, because the male loneliness epidemic is not women coming together and
I think to say that the male loneliness, because the thing is, it's so much complex shit that goes into it. To say all men just need to lock the fuck in is such an insane statement. like I've watched videos talking about that shit. Like, I do agree. If you're a fat slobby ass nigga and you're not making any efforts, then something has to change in your mental to decide to be better. But at the same time, to just say all men are lazy and all men are making no efforts, all men's fault, it's all men's fault. Do you have control over your own reality, your thoughts, and your actions? Yes, you do as a man. But to say that every man, like just the average men who are just living their lives day to day, it's all of their fault and we're not pinning any blame on the government whatsoever for intentionally fucking the middle classes over to make it easier to control them is wild to me. That's some crazy shit.
Just collectively deciding to have standards. This is the same gender that will repeatedly have multiple babies by multiple different men who are the same bums, who are the same that don't have a good job, that don't have education, who don't thrive to be anything in this world. And they'll continue to pick those men. And then they'll be like, well, it's his fault. It's his fault. Give me the government assistance. I don't want to do anything. I am now a victim of my own choices, and the taxpayers need to now pay for that for me, right? I'm going to collect child support. I'm going to go around calling my baby daddies useless, even though these are like good men, even though these are men that never even wanted a baby to begin with. I'm just going to baby trap them. This is what I'm just going to do now.
Like, when it comes to avoiding baby mama drama shit, my nigga, be on semen retention, bro. If you want to avoid so much of that shit, it's pregnancy scares, STD, you can just be on semen retention and have long periods of celibacy, my nigga. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That's high key the method if you want to avoid that shit. I know niggas in high school, at my high school, who've gotten girls pregnant and done fucked their whole lives over because of that shit. Just because they couldn't keep their dick in their pants.
This is the same gender that can't seem to get it fucking right, that can't notice red flags, that will have 60 different bodies and be like, well, all these men tricked me and they were all pieces of shit. No. The same gender that can take zero accountability is the same gender that came together and just collectively had this big brunch and decided that we're just all gonna have standards now. Yeah, we're just all gonna decide not to date men, and we've caused the male loneliness epidemic. Yay! Also, we don't care. Also, it's because of toxic masculinity, patriarchy, hashtag it's men's fault. You see why men aren't listening to women. You see why men don't give a fuck. You see why men are giving up. You see why men are just like backing off and being like, okay, sure, whatever you say, Becky. Because again, years calling them toxically masculine, and then they come out and they open up and they are the problem, that we find an issue, and then we're like, oh, well, it's your fault anyway, so why should I care? I mean, this is just really cruel behavior, and why it's accepted, I have absolutely no idea.
Out, you know what I'm saying, the YouTuber, you know what I'm saying, I'm bad with names, and it's 3 in the fucking morning. Shout out Romy Army, man, for the vid. But that being said, it's your boy Jay. Stay healthy, and stay blessed. Obviously, videos gonna be in the description.